we are moving towards the weekly close. But right now, we have a 3-day candle close, and this looks positive for XRP. Remember, we discussed about this in the yesterday's video. Right here, with the 3-day candle close, look at the volume to the price action. That looks really optimistic. Now, if you do zoom in, you get to see a little bit more clearer picture. Compared to yesterday, we had less buying volume, but the price showed you a very positive outcome compared to last 3, 4, 5, 6 days of movement. The momentum came back in line. We watched a lot of altcoins doing really good. If you look at Ether here, the volume in buying side was lower, agreed, but the price did almost equal to what the last did. Now, what's surprising here is that the total altcoins, excluding Ether, looks even more bullish. It created a bullish candle here. This is a bullish engulfing candle. That shows you the amount of buying strength looking here. Just a little bit of less side of buying volume, but it got bigger candle. So the momentum is in your favor. You're watching a lot of these random altcoins starting to bounce back up 10, 15, 20% day. And that's not a bad deal. When you do look at these small caps, you are literally watching a big reversal. Look at the daily candle. You're watching the 3 soldiers. You're being pushed to the upside. Historically, when you do get those, you kind of get to see how these are moving. But yes, the risk factor would be higher when you go into a smaller cap coins. But what exactly are we looking at for the weekly close? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, when you do look at the chart, this is Bitcoin. And I would like to reiterate the fact, if we saw something like this here back in 2019 as a local top, or here in 2021, both of them shows you something similar. That's a negative divergence. You know where I'm going with this. This is what we are expecting, a bounce in the price action. I don't know how high it's going to go, but the moment you see the RSI reversing, and especially reversing below the previous high, when the price is here, that's going to be great. At one point, it faked us out here, close to 53 range. So that pushed the price up. And right now, it shows you another leg is coming. Last time, this was here. That meant a lot of altcoins just started bursting after that time. Do you have that amount of discipline and patience? Because remember, we discussed about this pattern. The price action is showing you something similar, but the negative divergence is not yet there. So you're watching this kind of a distributive pattern coming in unless you get a higher momentum candle to the upside. So now you go look at the Bitcoin itself, you go look at the Ether, the altcoin market. You get to see something evolving. And that's good. That's great for us. When we watch all of this, we kind of get the clear idea about where we are going. Because when you do look at the buying to selling strength, you're watching that the buying kind of overweighs the sellers in the current market. So the optimism is coming back into the market. That's not a small thing there. Right? It's a big deal as the price reverses. So here in XRP, when you do see the 3-day candle turning bullish, you then zoom into the daily. Yeah, this is kind of a retracement range. You had this micro break to the downside, so you need to retest this and break that. That's what we really want to see. Because at that time, you do have this pattern formation which we need to break to the upside. Yes, this support has been there for a long period of time, and that's cool because we're going all the way back to 2023 June. So now, if you actually take that to the weekly chart, tomorrow we're going to get the weekly candle close. Will we close just like this? Will we try to bounce back higher? We are at a support, and that's good. Right now, you have very little buying volume compared to the last one. Here we are, we don't have much of a buying pressure. That kind of goes well for the sellers. So on a weekly, unless the price pushes back up to 0.57, 0.58, or at least 0.56, this would show bears are still in control on the micro horizon. But what we have noticed in this particular asset in the recent past is the fact that each time the price drops below the weekly moving average, like 15 to 17, 18%, sometimes a little bit of wick here to the downside, like 23%, that was the bottom. So here we are, we had another one which was like 15. Here we are, next leg down, that was like 27%. So the odds of that being the local low, and then we start going back up, is higher. Because now we are going all the way back into the December 2022, Jan 2023 level. It's literally like a long period of time. That price fluctuation shows you those who are involved in the market right now may repeat a similar pattern. As we didn't break this to the downside, you still have some optimism in the market. But yes, for that to go euphoric, you need to see this breaking to the upside. We've been waiting for that from some time. It didn't happen yet. One of the primary reasons is Bitcoin and its price fluctuation here. When you zoom in on a daily, you get to see Bitcoin has made this pattern in here. It got a continuation to the upside. But right now, when you do look at the volume to the price action, yesterday it didn't make much of a sense. But today it looks okay. Bulls are coming back in. They're trying to defend this level of support. They're trying to push it back up. So we may actually go back up to 70, 71,000. That's going to be positive for the altcoin markets. When you take the Bitcoin dominance, you understand what I'm highlighting. We are back at that support level where we bounced off initially. Right now, we are testing that again. Can we break that to the downside? That's going to be the biggest question here. Because if we do, that's a huge opportunity in the altcoin market. When you do look at the total tree, here you're watching the fact that we're trying to bounce back above the moving average on a 3-day chart. The moment you go on a weekly, what do you see? You came to the moving average. You're bouncing off from that moving average. That's a great area to be in the market. You go back in the history. You look at when we have done that before. This was one of that scenario. So you had the accumulation. You broke higher. You retested, you bounced, and then you did that. Right now, where the hell are we? That's the biggest question you need to answer yourself. And what I'm watching here is that you had the breakout, you had the retest, you had the bounce, and now you're doing that. So there is a lot of similarities between this range. Those who have been watching this channel for a few months at least knew this. We talked about this range. We talked about this range. We are now here. So as the time progresses and you reach this range at the top, don't change the fundamentals. Don't change your indicators. You're watching for this and the price action shows you, yes, that's happening. Don't try to pick the top. That can harm you. So this can be the useful area because right now, when you do see USDC, USDT, all of them coming into the market, that shows that new money is interested in this market. As the stock market slows down on the tech side, you may actually see a lot of people starting their money moving out of those range, and crypto assets going up, it should get more attention. Now, why do I say that? You look at the daily candle, you look at the 4-hour candles, you're watching there is a bounce back up from the level of support, a critical level of support. Now, yes, as of now, you have not even erased this one candle of bearishness. We need to go back up, retest this range, retest this range. We have a lot of resistance to go through. But that as a pattern in itself does not look bad. So that's one of the reasons why I say if this is what the price action is doing, it's okay. Let it chop there and then break higher and continue to the upside. We're cool with it, right? So you go back. When the gold market opens, you want to see it consolidating. And that happening there is going to be really, really positive for us. See, you look at a lot of different coins, especially meme coins. They're getting a lot of volume. I mean, they are hot coins right now in a lot of different exchanges, especially here. And then you look at this and you're like, okay, that's also forming a pattern which we just discussed. That means, okay, if Bitcoin breaks to the upside, these guys, the meme coin segment, they're going to actually participate in it. They may break that to the upside and continue to the upside. Remember, the most recent run up in this asset was not small. It was a decent 3x. If you started from that local bottom, accumulated in there, that's a 5x move for you. And this is just the beginning of that asset. If you go back enough, you get to see each time you have one pump, consolidate there before the next leg up. So if that's what's coming here, that's optimism. But that's a meme coin. The level of risk involved there is going to be substantially higher. So if you are taking 100% of your portfolio there, it won't make any sense. So it's balanced risk which actually give you the best outcome. That's one of the reasons why I say we go through that to give you guys the right idea. If you want to follow the SI family to get all of those, look for the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we go through a ton of assets. Right now, we're going through a lot of them so that you know where exactly those coins are. Are they below a huge support? Are they above it? Because we need to break that support and hold it to retest and bounce. If that's that territory of that asset, which is in your portfolio, great, ride it to the upside. But if it is finding it really hard to break that support resistance zone, it's going to be hard. So having the right information is going to be important. Now, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, I would like to request, consider doing that. It supports the growth of this channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you who smash that every single day. And any of your questions about what we just discussed, let me know in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.